Hi everyone. So last week we started implementing the strategy of beating the SPY in my own IRA. So you can certainly follow or you can do something similar in your account. All you need is enable option trading in your account. So let's move on. So let's quick review of the beat SPY strategy. So my IRA account is relatively small. I have just a little bit over $40,000. So that allows me to buy 100 SPY shares. And when I have 100 SPY shares, I can essentially sell just one call. If you have bigger accounts, I would suggest start with just one covered call and see how it goes. But in general, the whole account can be used for this strategy because it's quite safe. Okay, so the goal for this strategy is to get, of course, at least the same returns as SPY, but hopefully we can get extra 6% out of the account over the next 11 months. It doesn't seem like much, but if you add that over years, you can double your account with just 6% interest, probably in like 7-8 years. So, if your time horizon is 7-8 years, just from this strategy, you essentially would have twice as much as you would otherwise. So that's, I think, pretty compelling. Okay, so for our strategy, so we buy 100 shares, sell one call, and the goal is 6%. Since there will always be some extra cash in the account, I decided to put it in two high quality, high dividend stocks, which are Starwood and Rhythm. Both of them are REITs, real estate investment trusts, and I will try to ignore the performance of these because they are not really relevant to what I want to show you guys. I want to show you that with just options, with the short call options and 100 shares of SPY, you can actually do better than just 100 shares of SPY. Okay, but I don't want to have the cash just lying around, so any cash that I will have, I'll just move it to these REITs. Okay, so let's go on. So the trades, so my account originally, had Google, Globant, and XBI ETF, and so I sold all these. I sold it on Tuesday, the 31st of January, and instead, so all these guys got sold, right? And instead, I bought 100 shares of SPY and then sold one short call that expires on February 17th, and the strike price is 413. So I sold it, and for about $3.18, which after commission and fees, it added $317 in cash to our account. And then whatever cash I had, still on the same day, I bought Starwood and Rhythm. And I had some leftover fractional shares from the trade of XBI, and Fidelity liquidated those on Friday. So that's another sell that I didn't do anything. That just happened automatically at the same price as the trade on Tuesday. Okay, so am I saying correct? Tuesday, yeah, correct. Yeah, so trade was on Tuesday, and somehow Fidelity liquidated that on Friday, or it showed up. I should say it showed up liquidated in my account on Friday. So I guess they liquidated it on Thursday. That's the settlement date for the trade. Okay, so on the 31st, got rid of all the positions, started really implementing the strategy. So that was the first day when we had the position, and then since I had some money left in my account, I bought 1 shares of Rhythm on is it Wednesday, and then the XBI, as I said, it got sold on Thursday by Fidelity. I didn't do anything, and then with the money that I had from that trade, I bought 3 more shares of Rhythm on Friday. But those are really, as I said, not so important for us. For us, this is the most important thing, right? So as I said, 100 shares of SPY. The total amount of money I needed was $40,438. So if you want to implement this strategy, you need at least this much money in your account. Otherwise, it's not going to work. You need to have 100 shares of SPY. Okay, and then once you buy SPY, then you can start selling calls. Not a big deal. So I sold 1 call. Okay, so let's move on. So after all these adjustments at the end of Friday, I had 100 shares of SPY. As I said, I was short 1 call of SPY, and then I had 412 shares of Rhythm and 168 of Starwood. And note, I set up the account in such a way that the dividends will be automatically reinvested. I don't have to worry about it. I set up the TRIP, dividend reinvestment plan, and the dividends will be automatically reinvested for all 3, for SPY ETF and for these 2 stocks. Okay, and this is the value of the account, but I'll talk about that later. Okay, let's move on. So let's see what SPY did actually while we were trading. So normally I will try to update the positions like once a week. I will not probably deal with daily fluctuations that much. It's really not worth it. But just because we are starting a strategy, I wanted to review what happened. So we bought SPY. So this is a daily chart of SPY. So on Tuesday, January 31st, we bought SPY at about here. That was 404.40, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah. So we bought SPY around 404.40. And so we bought it here, but towards the end of the day, SPY still rose another 2 points. And then the next day, the FOMC raised interest rates by a 1/4 point, which was kind of expected. But what was good also, they announced that it's quite likely they might be done raising interest rates, or they suggested. It's always tricky with the Federal Reserves. They always, every word kind of matters. So they are close to being done, let's say it like that. And so market liked the news and went way up. I was also saying that there was a resistance around between like 408, 410, coming all the way from here. But so my plan was that SPY would not go, or if it went above 410, it would come back. So, but the interest rate announcement and especially the guidance afterwards was important enough that SPY went above 410, and actually the next day the markets kind of digested the news and realized, hey, this is actually very good news, so it went quite high. So for SPY itself, of course, the higher it goes, the better. For our calls, not so much, right? Our call is here. So, sorry, not here, but this is the strike price, 413. So you can see when the stock goes above 413, not so good for us. I am actually hoping that the stock will finish below 413 in 2 weeks, which is the expiration date of the call. And so Thursday didn't look too good, but Friday kind of, there were some earnings on Thursday evening or after hours, and that kind of calmed the markets down essentially a little bit, and kind of the excitement got reduced. So the SPY went down again. So what happened over these 4 days? Sorry, it's really short. What happened to our positions? So you can see that, so this is what I'm essentially, excuse me, this is what I'm trying to track, right? So we entered on the 31st. This is our cost basis. We spend this much money on SPY. Where's the price value? Yeah. So the cost. So this much money on SPY. We got this much money back from the call, and then the entire account value at this time was this 47 something. I will try not to pay attention too much to the value of the account, because all I really care about, I want to follow the money that we put into SPY and that we got out of the short calls. So these two columns, the blue and the brown red, light red here. So these two columns are the ones that matter to me. Right, so this and this. Sorry, a terrible drawing, I know. Anyway, so these two columns, essentially, that's what I'll be looking at, and that's what I will be comparing. So you can see that already at the end of the day, on 31st, SPY was up 0.52, but the combination of SPY plus call plus the cash was 0.37. All right, so little smaller jump, because the call essentially went up in price, and that was not good. And so essentially, anytime the call goes up in price, it moves against us, right? That's not what we want. So Wednesday, that was even worse. Because SPY jumped 1.59 and our account, or the SPY plus the call, only less than 1%, right? And then on Thursday, again, even worse. That was a really big jump up. Remember, on Thursday we were here at 417 roughly. So that's kind of outside the range that I was planning on. And anyway, so the profit of SPY was over 3%, but the profit of SPY plus call plus cash was only 2%. So we just in 3 days we got 1% behind. Not so good. But you can see the next day, on Friday, things started calming down. So SPY went down a little bit, and of course the whole account, or the SPY plus call plus cash, went also down, but not as much. So this is just the first few days. As I said, first few days, like, the important metric here is performance over time, over months, actually, for the whole year. So in a few weeks this might look completely different, hopefully better. We'll see. Okay, so I put this in a chart so that you can kind of see it better, right? So at the beginning, the profit was 0%. That's the cost. That's our cost basis, and this is at the end of Tuesday, at the end of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? And the blue part, as before. So here, blue was just the SPY call. The light red was the SPY call plus cash. SPY plus the call plus cash. So this is just SPY. So this is the baseline. This is what we are measuring against. And we're hoping that the orange line will eventually get bigger, right? So I want this to go up more than SPY. Okay. And just for comparison, this is the gray one is the value of the entire account. And, the behavior of Rhythm and Starwood kind of makes a difference for this, so this is why I don't want to really pay too much attention to it, but I'm still including it. So So anyway, so actually for the account, I don't expect much because both Starwood and Rhythm, they are more or less safe stocks. They just pay dividends, but they don't move up and down that much. So if the markets move up a lot, the stocks will probably not move much. So they may drag the account down, but it's okay. It's just a safe way where to park cash instead of just sitting really in cash. Okay, so we're gonna track this going forward. As the time progresses, we'll see more and more and hopefully get a better feel for what's going on and if the strategy is working or not. Okay, so for the next few days, actually the plan is to do nothing. The expiration of the call comes in 2 weeks. Closer to the expiration, we may have to start paying close attention. But for now, the market will probably jump up and down a few times. I don't expect any more big moves. That all happened Wednesday, Thursday. So, unless SPY starts moving much, much higher, then we might have to do something like roll the call to a higher price, a higher strike price. But for now, I'm happy where we are. Actually, things are working the way I expected. So let's just hope that things will continue to work well and we will make some extra cash. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.